Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit down because today we're talking about the U.S. military. So many goddamn heroes.
Why'd you join the army?
For my country!
Type shit.
Yes, yes! We're actually talking more about military recruiters today. Sorry for the bait and switch, but we are. Because the U.S. military is constantly in need of recruits. Because of that, Army recruitment has become its own complex operation. One that makes constant efforts to reach as many people as possible using the hundreds of millions of dollars allotted yearly for this purpose. Hundreds of millions. Some of you may have seen it firsthand with military recruiters showing up to their colleges or campus to talk to kids directly. But this is far from the only method used to find interested people and joining the Hoorah clan.
One time I got off a bus and a guy sprinted from the bushes trying to recruit me.
You were just that much of a soldier. You were just that much of a catch. It turns out that the U.S. military employs a lot of strange and extreme tactics to accomplish their goal, especially with the realization that Gen Z shows far less interest in joining the military compared to previous generations. I mean, in 2022, only 45,000 soldiers enlisted out of 60,000 that was intended that year. No one cares anymore, dude. Rock, flag, and eagle, man. Rock, flag, and eagle. No more. No more.
A lot of people are very anti-American nowadays.
Isn't it sad, Nick? Isn't it sad? Hoorah. Hoorah! A big part of this is due to the fact that young people seem to be more aware of the realities of military service and no longer buying into the flowery messaging given to them by recruiters who want to sell this as an ideal path. And in fact, recruiters often focus on the supposedly immense benefits and sense of purpose one can obtain, leaving out the harsher truths like the risk of PTSD, suicide, and mental health issues. So today I want to talk about the most ridiculous military recruitment methods. And let me tell you. Some of them might even work on me.
People think you're poor if you join the military. That's not the case. I just got paid, so I went shopping. I spent $10,000. I got a pair of Louboutins. I wore them for the first time last night. They told me to use a protectant on the red sole so that it didn't up, but I already.
What you're seeing is advanced warfare.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Wake up. Wake up. It's propaganda. It's propaganda. It's an e-girl in military uniform. It's propaganda. Wake up. Wake up.
We can't get into this topic without discussing one of the strangest and more recent examples, the e-girl soldier psyops. All across social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram, videos are making waves showcasing what can only be described as e-girls cosplaying as members of the United States Army. Many are convinced that it's all part of a massive psyop, and that the US is enlisting the help of attractive women to make videos that convince people to join the Army, aka the literal most effective way to put men into any position. And it works hand over fist. This is referred to as the simp to soldier pipeline. One of the most well-known influencers in this genre of content is a woman online named Luhan that has almost 1 million followers on TikTok. Dressed in full army getup, she posts videos of her lip syncing to trendy songs, doing dances, and vlogging her experience. While some posts seem innocent enough and realistic, occasionally things would become way less subtle, like a post where she directly tells people, quote, "If you feel unwanted, you know the army wants you bad." I love that, dude. I want you bad, so if I was an army man, she'd probably love me. That's how men's minds work nowadays, too. Similar theories are even being made in other countries for people like Natalia Fadiz, also known as the gun waifu, a member of the IDF that posts pro-Israel propaganda on her Instagram and her OnlyFans. There's definitely a guy who's just doing something and then he's just, that OnlyFans comment really perked him up. Say what now? Her content ranges from cringy e-girl trends to Overwatch cosplays, mixed with thirst trap photos on her Instagram as well as her OnlyFans, popping her showing tits. It's, you know, what else is new? People believe that this is done as a recruitment method as well and have successfully gotten many young men to obsess over her.
I would never reject you. In fact, I would like to be with you. I love you. Could you be my girlfriend? Heart, heart, heart. Please love me.
But of course, this isn't the first time the U.S. Army has tried tactics like these to gain interest of young people. Throughout history, they have employed various methods that glorify military life, often in a way that feels inappropriate or deceptive, like with military ad campaigns. Which, listen, here's the thing, guys. They're awesome. They're really cool. I remember, even when I was younger, I would see them and I'd be like, Damn, that's kind of sick.
Yeah, it worked on me. I could get free college?
Free college? And I'm like failing algebra. Free college? I'm gonna be a doc.
Can you sign up with flat feet? Or is that you can't be drafted with flat feet?
If you have flat feet, they're not gonna allow you into the military? Is it that big of a deal? I thought it was if you're like colorblind.
Well, that maybe that too. If you have flat feet, you can't be drafted. So I'm safe from the draft.
You're also like 40. You're not gonna get drafted, Nick. Like, you're like, I'm really young and extremely in shape. I hope they don't draft me.
Hunter, I have something to tell you.
What is it, Mom?
You may want to put that energy drink down. I don't think your heart can take it.
Well, Mom, I appreciate your concern, but I've actually been drinking Gamer Supps raw meat blend that's non-caffeinated. While they do have a caffeinated option, both are equally delicious, so I think it should be okay.
Hunter, you're not my son.
What?
There's no way you could be my son. Look at you. You're too big. I mean, nobody is as fat as you in the family.
Oh, God.
Whoa, whoa there, little Debbie. Don't want you to slip into a diabetic stroke.
I'm sugar-free! And it's keto-friendly, Mom!
Don't call me that anymore. I just got back from the courthouse. Papers are signed. You're not my son.
Oh, God!
And quit crying like that. It just makes you look so fat.
Throughout the 80s and 90s, many military advertisements were released that clearly aimed to appeal to the fantasy and adventure-obsessed kids playing Dungeons and Dragons. That feels like a bit of a long shot. One short advertisement from 1985 simply focuses on a sword being forged over a dramatic voiceover catering to the alpha men. I think more so just being like, King Arthur's table. You want to stab this into like a Middle Eastern guy's chest. They're all dragons. Lizard people. That would have worked on me. Yeah, there's lizard people over there? We gotta kill them! In 1987, the US Marines took it a step further with an advertisement set in medieval times, with a young man dressed in armor being knighted by a king. The voiceover compares the adventurous and courageous knight to that of a modern Marine. Continuing with the medieval theme, the Marine Corps released a particularly strange ad in 1990 that depicted knights and evil wizards fighting each other on a life-size chessboard. Who do you think the wizards were? You know who the enemy is. Join the Marines. One of the most bizarre ads released in 1998, a man enters a strange CGI video game-esque coliseum where he must traverse a deadly obstacle course in order to retrieve a sword themed after a bald eagle. It's awesome. Especially that time too when you're just like, I just got my Nintendo 64, you're like, oh my god, I've been playing it on my TV, but I could be in the game. That kind of thing. Also a bald eagle sword. You kidding me? So sick. Almost looks a little like Nazi propaganda. Just a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Sorry they had good aesthetic. He then dramatically fights a lava monster before striking him down, being engulfed in flames and turning into a fully dressed Marine. And many people can forgive ads like these for being a product of their time, but even modern military ads seem to dress things up to appear like some sort of trendy video game, which you definitely know that for a fact that these guys are just like, Call of Duty's huge. We're basically breeding them from when they're 8 years old playing these games. In 2019, the What's Your Warrior marketing campaign was released with the intention of showcasing the large list of diverse opportunities available to those joining the army. The advertisement is very clearly trying to cater to the Gen Z by mimicking a modern hero shooter aesthetic, showing specific types of soldiers alongside catchy nicknames and flashy graphics as their operators in Rainbow Six Siege. I like to think that they also went to like Blizzard and they're just like Overwatch. You know, do you think that they ever like the US government's here, like the colonel like walks in, hello colonel? He's just like, I have an assignment for you, son. America needs you. On the phone with it. Huh? Here are some examples of these warriors, by the way. Aviation officers are referred to as the Dragon Tamers. I'm telling you, there's a lot of anti-Chinese shit I feel like in this. The Dragon Tamers. Microbiologists are called the virus hunters, and culinary specialists are called the replenishers. Like they're just like, you could be a cook. Many people across social media agree that it was an incredibly predatory method of attracting the attention of young people. And appealing to gamers through advertisements is one thing, but what about actual video games? Let's talk about the military-funded video games. Because in 1999, U.S. Army Colonel Casey Wardzinski came up with a unique idea to manage the lack of recruitments. And by 2000, 2002, he helped develop a video game called America's Army, which was released with the purpose of convincing people to recruit in real life. And this was the first instance of the Army using the medium as a marketing tactic. The game acted as a team-based tactical shooter similar to Counter-Strike that was praised for being one of the most realistic portrayals in military combat in gaming for its time. I wonder who you're killing. Apparently, in 2007, a man used his knowledge for the game to save 2 people that were stuck in a car after an accident, and the game was getting a lot of great press to the point where multiple games were released, both spin-offs and sequels. I like how some guys just like, thank you, America Army. I wouldn't have been able to save that wife and child from their burning car. That's kind of an impressive feat, though, huh?
Do you think they set that scenario up so a guy could save people?
Yeah, the woman's like handcuffed to the wheel, like duct tape around.
Yeah, wait, how did he learn from the game, from a car wreck? How does that make sense?
America's Army led to a more positive view on the U.S. military and successfully raised recruitment numbers more than any previous advertising attempt. And 20 years later, the game had shut down entirely after showcasing increasingly dwindling player numbers. Well, yeah, dude. One of the most popular military-based video games is undoubtedly Call of Duty, which first released in October of 2003, and this game has been widely speculated to be a military-funded psyop. I love that idea. State documents have been released in the past to prove that the CIA utilized video games for the purpose of counterterrorism operations, even using spies to do surveillance on people through World of Warcraft and Second Life. And apparently, there was a belief that criminal networks may be operating within online video games. And because of this, it is not a stretch to assume that Call of Duty is more than just a video game. The US Air Force has even brought executive producers tied to Call of Duty franchise to their headquarters to demonstrate how their gear and vehicles work. We're just researching stuff. Puts like a needle in the back of his neck.
See, that they should add that. Like after every map, there should be like a big like promotion that's like join the army.
Wasn't that fun? You just sign up here. Or if you did some shit where it was like you get a free battle pass, just you know.
Oh, battle pass in the army.
They
That'd be sick.
They do a battle pass to where you sign up, you get a free battle pass if you put your email and information in, and then you start getting newsletters. Before Activision and Blizzard became entangled in sexual harassment scandals, the US Army actually had big plans to put tons of money into Call of Duty franchise. They planned to sponsor Twitch events, paying influencers to create pro-army content, and even create a reward-based inventory in Call of Duty Mobile that would pay in-game currency to viewers that watch ads for the US Army.
There you go. See, you were right. They did go up to Blizzard.
I'm telling you, they're just like, come on. If he has a gun, he's just like, I don't want to make this hard. Despite there being proven instances of video games utilized this way, Major John Mark Thelin had his own frustrations. According to him, military recruits that are part of the Nintendo generation have frail skeletons and are not tough enough to handle the active training required by the military. First off, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But in response, he put together a regiment for people to build stronger bones, including tasks such as couch to 5K running program and drinking lots of milk. The guy's hard. I don't know what I'm supposed to tell you.
Oh, he came up with the couch to 5K? That's a huge like Reddit thing.
Couch to 5K is a huge Reddit thing. Have you done it?
No, but like the fitness sub, this is years ago. They're like, here's the couch to 5K regiment.
And it's just because he said the Nintendo generation has soft bones. He's like, get off your couch, run a 5K, and drink milk. Reddit falling for a psyop? That's odd. With big games like Fortnite and Minecraft releasing to massive audiences, the US military was struggling to utilize the gaming space to enlist future military soldiers. For them, the next obvious step was to create the US Army esports team, which the US Army, as well as the Air Force and Navy, created their own esports teams. Alongside this, they had recruiters playing shooters on stream dressed in full uniform, talking about how much they love being in the Army. Which, is that comparable to like the Army having a football team and the Navy having a football team too that played like the college bowls? Yeah, it's just like, oh, I like football, you know, and that kind of thing. All is fair in love and war, Nick. All is fair in love and war. But their goal is, once again, to reach out to people who are prime ages for military recruitment, and people were quick to ridicule this endeavor online, spamming comments with the US military's participation in various war crimes.
Oh, cool. Nice. Really chill guy. Have a nice time getting banned, my dude.
I'd always be afraid that they'd like bomb my house.
The Army would?
Yeah. World of War crimes. And then all of a sudden, or you just see like a drone flying outside my window. I'm like,
That was actually a big thing during Obama when he started the Obama era, when he started using drones. People were like, he's going to use it on U.S. citizens.
I always thought that the big thing they're going to do with drones is they were going to start delivering packages. Whatever the happened with that? I've never had one package delivered by drone. It upsets me because that was the whole thing I thought was cool with Amazon was they were like, oh yeah, you just drop the box off at your doorstep and he flies away. It's like idiot. I was sitting there, I had to order like, I don't know, a pair of socks. Look at my window.
I'm pretty sure there was a guy who like he ordered from Amazon and someone with a shotgun shot it down and took the package.
That's awesome.
At some point today, did a drone fly over your house and you shoot at it? I'm gonna be real blunt with you and ask.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
That's so stupid. I guess the Fruit of Loom socks runs off.
Speaking of psyops, they think that's a psyops.
What isn't a psyop? The amount of times I see the word psyop online, there's psyops everywhere. Subway has a psyop. McDonald's, Walmart has a psyop. Who doesn't have a psyop? What's name a company that doesn't have a psyop? No, this isn't a
Papa Meat.
No, yeah, a psyop. I don't know what it is yet, but we definitely, if we don't have one, we're making one. What would our psyop be?
Join the Patreon by using cute e-girls.
That's what we need to do, dude. Will we get? Do you think we'd get in trouble if we started getting like big-titted women, fat ass, or like buff guys with like chiseled bodies? Just be like, I don't know, my life's just been. I look like this because I'm on the Patreon. You think that'd get people to go?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I think so.
That's gonna be our psyop then. The U.S. Army Esports Twitter account started to get made fun of online as well for using cringe e-girl phrases. We'll ask the merch store boss lady. They're responding with ooh. And it's like, these are the people that are supposed to protect this country. Why can't it just be, why do they, I mean, it's an idea, I get it, of we're trying to be hip with the kids so they want to join in or whatever, but can it not just be a thing where online is where you are your cringy self and you do all your shit that you do, and then if you join the army, can there not just be things where it's like we just don't joke? This is just we're the army. The army does not need to be making joke accounts, you know what I mean?
They're trying to appeal to Gen Z. And
I get it, but I'm saying, can nothing be sacred anymore? Am I wrong? Why can't it just be a bunch of old guys who are just like, I don't know, are you a in life? Kind of. Cool, help me give you purpose again. That's been the biggest thing. I've had like multiple friends who are like real ups, and they're like, honestly, like ups. They joined the army though, and they like actually found like discipline and all kinds of stuff. Like the system I think works for people. It's just a matter of, but it's hard work, you know? I don't know.
And you could die.
Yeah. After being told that banning people for bringing up historic events in this matter was violating the First Amendment, the U.S. Army decided to take a break from streaming, and when they returned, they reinstated a ton of accounts that they had banned previously. Like, okay, well, I guess they can't just state facts. We can't just ban people for saying shit. This wasn't their only controversy, however, because it turns out that they were also participating in potentially unlawful fake giveaways in order to push higher recruitment rates. Links would be posted on their Twitch claiming that you could win an Xbox Elite Series 2 controller worth up to $200, only for most people to click and be sent to a recruitment page with zero mention of the giveaway. Perhaps they hope people would just forget about it and just be like, oh, okay, well, I guess the giveaway's not real. I guess I'll just sign up instead, which had to work, by the way. And according to their Twitch page, they stopped streaming about 3 years ago. RIP. If your favorite streamer was just like, hey, you should join the army, how many people do you think would?
Oh, a lot.
So if SQC was just like, hey, yeah, I have to, you guys should join the army for real, whatever, then that, you think people would be like, okay.
I think a substantial amount of people would consider it because they'd be like, yes.
I mean, even like 1%, 1%, if 1%, that'd be a lot. For some audiences, that'd be crazy.
I bet you if Kai Cenat said join the army.
Ooh, if Kai Cenat was just like, hey guys, for real, join the army, I'd have some weight. You know what, I'm gonna say it, join the army. I don't give a shit, do whatever the f you want. Would you rather work at an Amazon factory or would you rather join the army?
Join the army.
I'd probably join the army over working at Amazon.
I'd be in the Air Force.
No, you wouldn't. You have glasses. They wouldn't let your blind ass be in an airplane.
No, I wouldn't be a pilot.
Then why would you want to be in the Air Force?
I'd be in the cockpit.
What cockpit? What are you talking about?
Control room.
So you just want to be a desk jockey in the army? You want to be in the Air Force? You don't want to fly a plane? I feel like you're very easy to please. You know that? You don't reach for anything, do you? You just said that you want to be a desk jockey in the Air Force. The f are you talking about?
The command tower would be like, all right, Bluebird, you're safe to land.
So you're just saying that you want to work in an airport? Okay.
If I was in the army.
Yeah. Well, you said the Air Force, but you're just saying like you're basically just wanting to like bring in Delta and American Airline. I mean, more power to you. I don't know.
One time, my buddy, he told me in high school, he's like, hey, we're going to go work out with our Marine buddy. He's like, I thought we were going to lift weight, but we actually went and did like Marine PT. And on the very first exercise, we just had to sprint down the street and come back. After that, I immediately threw up.
Oh my God. God. Honestly, same. Well, actually, I would show up and be like, we're doing what? PT? No. My fat ass? Hell no. In the military's attempt to reach Gen Z audience, they begin moving towards more cringe behavior, like the army rap, which could have really been at any place or time, but rap always seems to come back in terms of like doing a hip hop thing. And you see it with the training videos and McDonald's and all that stuff. So it always kind of circles back a bit. 2019, the Giving All I Got music video released on YouTube to a minuscule audience. The rap was ridiculed for its incredibly cringy lyrics and amateurish production, and the song features moving lyrics such as going out like an acrobat. I'm flipping the script like flipping through pictures on Flickr.
Going out like an acrobat. I'm flipping the script like flipping through pictures on Flickr.
I wonder how many people know what Flickr is. And at one point, they started listing things that the army will pay for in order to convince people to join in.
Uniform paid for, electric bill paid for, water bill paid for, living quarters paid for.
Another way that the US military can appeal to the youth is by utilizing star power, aka paying celebrities to promote the army. For example, the work the army had done with Jonathan Majors, known for his role in Marvel shows as well as Creed 3, he began working with the army on their Be All You Can Be ad campaign before being convicted of harassing and physically assaulting his ex-wife. He was dropped by the army and then later dropped by Disney, with his character Kang being removed entirely from the upcoming Marvel storyline. And in a more recent attempt to bolster recruitment numbers, the army secured an endorsement deal with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, as well as the United Football League, which The Rock co-owns. So I think that was just kind of a joint effort to probably squeeze more money out of him. He was paid $11 million and tasked with posting, and guys, let me tell you, this is hard. $11 million for 5 Instagram stories talking about army enlistment. Okay, $11 million, 5 Instagram stories. Not even posts. They're going to be gone in a day. Stories. The deal also included showing recruitment ads during the football games and advertising on the players' uniforms, and each Instagram post was valued at $1 million. And they were surprised to find out that he only posted 2 of them. He got paid for 5. He's like, I think I'll do 2. That's about it. He's like, I got tequila and steroids to promote. That's about it. The entire campaign turned out to be a massive failure, especially considering the United Football League's low attendance numbers. They literally recruited 0 new people. Nobody signed up for that. And in fact, according to an evaluation projection released by the Army, they actually lost 38 enlistments considering the wasted resources that could have been spent elsewhere. And the Army tried to reclaim $6 million from the failed campaign, and it is unclear how the contract is being rebalanced with the UFL. In one of the most expensive partnerships in Army history, $88 million was spent on NASCAR sponsorships alongside a driver named Dale Earnhardt Jr. Have you heard of him? He's the son of the Intimidator. Come on! They spent $88 million between 2011 and 2013. 2 years. $88 million. They wanted to continue to fill the recruitment quota of 50,000 soldiers a year, but NASCAR fans are typically older, and this resulted in incredibly disappointing results, with the Army once again admitting that it signed up virtually 0 recruits. It was so bad that the Army, Navy, Marines, and Coast Guard had to cancel all their NASCAR sponsorships for having an insane cost per engagement. So far, you know, we've been talking a lot about modern examples of Army recruitment techniques, but how about we go back to the past a bit and discuss one of the biggest blunders in recruiting history? I'm referring to Project 100,000. The low IQ Army. Between 1966 and 1971, the U.S. was struggling to meet recruitment standards throughout the Vietnam War. So Project 100,000 was an attempt to increase recruitment numbers by 100,000 people a year by severely lowering recruitment standards. In normal circumstances, these people were not physically or psychologically qualified to be trusted around firearms and wartime environment, and many of them couldn't read or write and had IQs below 71. Once again, I hate to keep saying it, but that legally, to the point where able-bodied soldiers were tasked with forging test results for them because they literally couldn't take it on their own. It seemed to be a matter of sending as many bodies into combat as fast as possible, to the point of rushing them through training before they were even moderately equipped to fight. They basically were just like, here's a uniform, have fun in the jungle. It's Forrest Gump, and they all went on to play ping pong in Russia. On the battlefield, these soldiers were a nightmare to work with. They gave up their positions by talking too loud. They couldn't tie their goddamn shoes. They wasted ammos and failed to understand understand basic commands. At one point, a popular infantry officer was shot and killed by accident. The soldier was meant to grant him access to the base after reciting the password, but somehow got confused in the process and decided to shoot him instead. And in fact, deadly friendly fire occurred on more than one occasion, obviously. Of the 354,000 deployed during the 5-year period, 5,478 died and 20,270 were wounded. That's pretty low, honestly. I would have expected way more. When times get tough and recruitment numbers aren't looking up, military recruiters can get quite desperate. The response? Bullying you into enlisting. Around 2022, it was discovered that there was a massive increase in military recruiters engaging in misconduct against people they wanted to recruit. So much so that the military recruiter abuse hotline had to be reopened after laying dormant for a long time. Recruiters would get access to people's phone numbers in order to give them information about potential enlistment. Usually, this text chain ends as soon as they reject or the text is ignored, but for many recruiters, the rejection angered them to the point where they would aggressively contact them various times to push for an answer they wanted. In one case, a woman received 70 texts in a row. I definitely think they're just like, are you gay? You must be gay if you don't want to join. The person's like, no, I'm not. You're totally not cool. You're gay. Hey, hard answer. Oh, come on, leave me alone. You're gonna join. What are you gonna? Okay, fine. All right, cool, man. One man admits that he was called old and fat by an army recruiter. There's got to be so much worse. There's got to be all kinds of that is the tip of the iceberg. There's got to be racial slurs, all kinds of shit happening, dude. When all else fails, they would get into full text arguments with people, sometimes posting civilians' address and threatening to show up and hurt them. Awesome. Listen, here's the thing, guys. Going into combat is a life-altering decision. It can lead to some of the worst moments in a young person's life, and the idea that the powers that be try to sneakily convince you to join them in video games and influencers is incredibly weird and bizarre. If you have any interest in doing something like that, maybe do your own research. Talk to someone who actually knows you or cares about your well-being, rather than leaving that job to a hot chick doing an Ahigo face on top of a tank, okay? And also to join the military. I mean, it's with anything in life, case by case, dude. Just do your research and make sure that it's a decision that you want to make. But until next time, guys, if there is any Army vets watching this, I'm so sorry. We'll see you next time, guys. Hoorah.
Hoorah.